All right. Am I saying your name right? It's Quinn, right?
Yes.
Hey, welcome to the class, Quinn. Are you ready to start the lesson?
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. Okay, so first we're going to start by looking at this picture. And Trung, what do you see in this picture? What do you think it's about?
In this picture, I can see a beautiful beach, but they too much trash on the beach. Yeah.
There you go. Very good. Trash on the beach. So this is a big environmental problem. What
Yes.
other environmental problems do you know of, Trung? Can you give me an example?
I think it seems waste pollution.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to be our topic for today. We're going to discuss some environmental issues like pollution that Trug mentioned now and the trash that we can see here. And we're also going to suggest some solutions. So this is our first question. We have 3 types of pollution over here. Let me just go back. I actually want us to start from this. Yes. Okay, so Trug, if you look at this picture, what kind of pollution do you think this is?
Are you asking me?
Yes, Trug.
Yes. I think it is air pollution.
Definitely air, right? And Quinn, what about picture number 2? What kind of pollution do you think it is?
That's water pollution.
Water pollution, perfect. Okay, last one. Who can tell me what this one is?
That's trash.
That's right. Okay, so examples of 3 types of pollution. Today we're going to learn about these problems. Let's first discuss this question. Quinn, can you tell me, does your country face these problems? What do you think?
Yes, our country, my country face 3 problems too: air pollution, water pollution, and trash.
Okay, similar to most countries, right? So today we're going to look at how we can discuss these problems with other people, but also how to suggest solutions. Let's practice one example. Trung, if you look at this problem over here, air pollution, can you give me one example of what you think would be a solution?
Let me see. I think for air pollution, one solution I can think at that time is using a public transport.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Let's look at another one, another example. Quinn, what do you think about water pollution? One solution.
I think people have to people need to protect the water. They don't need to pour the poison water.
Yeah, that's right.
Or wastewater.
Wastewater, controlling wastewater. Yeah, that's a good one. And then if we look at trash, a lot of people would say that recycling, right, would be the best solution for this and not dumping trash outside. But we're going to look at this today in more detail, how we can talk a little bit better about it. So these are the objectives. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to discuss environmental problems, also suggest some solutions. We're going to use the words hope and wish when discussing solutions. So those are our two main tasks for today. Now let's start by doing a bit of a listening activity over here. It says, which solutions does the speaker mention? Okay, so as you guys can see, the problem over here that he's going to talk about is air pollution. And then we have the two options. Quinn, can you read A and B for us, the two options?
Yes. A. Encourage people to use public transport. B. Have lower tax for companies that use clean energy.
Very good. So important here is to notice the words underlined with yellow, the keywords, right? So listen for them and it will be easier for you to find the answer. So I'm going to play the recording now. Let me know if you can't hear anything.
Hi, I'm Eric Tyler. To me, the most important environmental issue is air pollution. Air pollution is caused by burning fossil fuels, and that causes global warming. If global warming continues, our planet will die. I wish fossil fuels didn't exist. We should have lower taxes for companies that use clean energy.
Okay, so if we listen to that, Trim, which one do you think does the speaker mention? Number A or number B?
Yes, I think it is sentence B.
Number B. Quinn, do you agree with Drew?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, he definitely mentioned that one, right? So you guys are correct. Good job. He said have lower taxes for company that use clean energy, which is a good solution, I think. Now we're going to listen to another one. Which solutions does each speaker mention? So we'll have three different speakers. Number one talks about water pollution, and we have the two different options over here. Number two talks about trash, again, two different options. And speaker number three talks about overfishing, two different options. Okay, let's just start by reading the options in number one, water pollution. Quinn, can you read those two options for us?
Yes. Number one, water pollution. A. Have stronger law against water pollution. B. Reduce the use of chemical in farming.
Okay, so thank you. And again, remember to look at the keywords, listen for them to find the answer a bit faster. All right, that's it. So let's listen.
My name is Susan Dyson. I think water pollution is the biggest problem. Millions of people in the world do not have clean water to drink. I wish every country had stronger laws against water pollution.
I'm Ali Rahman. In my opinion, trash is...
Okay, let's stop it there. So the first speaker spoke about water pollution. Quinn, which one did he mention, A or B?
A. Have stronger law against water pollution.
Trinh, do you agree with Quinn?
Yes, totally, I agree with her.
Right, so let's see. You guys are correct. He said, have stronger laws against water pollution, right? So now our second speaker is going to talk about trash. Let's have a listen to that.
the worst environmental problem. We are throwing away tons of trash, especially plastic. I wish we could completely stop using plastic bags and packages. I hope all cities will provide free recycling soon.
That was speaker number 2. Quinn, what do you think, A or B?
I think A. Stop using plastic bag and packages.
And do you agree, Trinh?
No, I think both of A and B.
Okay, let's see the answer. Okay. Trung is right. So he did mention both A and B, right? Stop using plastic bags and also provide free recycling. So this was a bit of a tricky one. Now let's just look at our last one, speaker number 3. 2 options. A is set regulations on fishing nets, and B is make fishing companies reduce some types of fishing. Let's hear what the speaker says.
My name is An Dao. I wish my government would make fishing companies reduce certain types of fishing. Fishing is very important for our economy, and if the fish populations were destroyed, it would be terrible for my country.
There we go. Okay, Trung, what do you think, A or B?
I think the answer is B.
B. And Quinn, do you agree with him?
Yes, I agree.
All right, let's see if you are correct. That's right. Reduce some types of fishing by the companies, right? So well listened over here, the 3 speakers talking about the different types of pollution and how we can solve those problems. Now, next up over here, we have another kind of environmental problem. It's called overfishing. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. I just want to hear your opinions first. Quinn, what do you think? Why is overfishing an environmental issue according to you?
I think because of the demand of people and aware of people.
Okay, demand of people. Why do I keep typing it wrong? Okay, there we go. Trung, what do you think? Why is overfishing an environmental issue?
Because I think it affects to the quality of the water and depletion of fish stock. Two main reasons I can say at that time.
Good answers, I agree with you. Okay, because there are a lot of boats in the water at the same time, right? So here we have, of course, the boats affecting the water quality, the people throwing things into the water also affecting that. And then, like Trung also mentioned, the depletion of the fish. So it causes a lot of environmental issues. Now the question becomes, what are some solutions to this problem? Okay, so they suggested 2 solutions here, but first let me ask your opinion. Trung, what do you think would be a solution to this problem? It's a difficult one.
Yes, difficult to say. Let me see a bit. I think we need a strict policy on environmental protection. And people need to change their habit.
That's right. So if we look at this, I mean, the government has to get involved, right? Because they are the ones who needs to enforce the laws and the policy, right? Okay, good answer, Trung. What do you think? Do you agree with him? What do you think can we do to solve the problem?
Yes, I agree with him. We need to set the regulation about the fishing. It can reduce overfishing.
Definitely agree with you, right? Okay, so they also said we can set regulations on fishing nets and make fishing companies reduce some types of fishing. Yeah, so that is basically how we can do it, policies and regulations that are enforced and that are strict, right? Let me just clean this side over here. Now, next up, we're going to talk about some environmental problems and also the solutions to those problems. So here we have Hung talking about overfishing. So I want us to focus on the structure as well of how he talks about this, what sentences and phrases he uses to talk about it. So he starts by saying the main environmental problem in Indonesia is overfishing, right? Now, when we talk about problems and solutions, here are a few phrases that we can use. So he used this one, the main environmental problem. You can also use the biggest problem, one of the most serious problems, or the major problem, right? When introducing the problem. Now further, he says many species are becoming endangered because of it. In Indonesia, many fishermen are having difficulty making a living because the fish population is damaged. Then he mentions, I hope more protected areas for sea animals are created. So if we look at this sentence over here, he's giving a future hope, but also a solution to the problem. He uses the words, I hope. You can also use I wish, or I also hope, I also wish, when you want to mention a second thing. And when you want to talk about your future hopes and wishes. As we can see the sentence over here, I also wish the government could strengthen fishing management, right? So using the word could is an option here, talking about your wishes for the future. I hope the government could strengthen, right? You can also use would strengthen. It would be the exact same sentence. When you want to use the word hope, you can use the simple present tense or will. I hope the government will stop the air pollution. I hope the government can enforce new laws. Okay. So this is basically a structure and an example of him talking about his environmental problems in his country, and he ends it by also giving an example. For example, they can have a catch limit to allow the fish populations to remain healthy. Now we're going to talk about some environmental problems over here and how we can solve them. Now first we have the air pollution, trash and water pollution. First I'm going to give you a few, let's say 1.5 minutes. And I think I'm going to give each of you one specific topic. Okay, so I want you to choose one. Let's say you can choose one which you think is a big problem in your city. You're from the same country. So talk about your city. What is the biggest problem in your city? And I want you to use these phrases and then type it in the chat for me, right? I'm going to make an example. For example, when I say the biggest problem in my city is air pollution. Okay? Like that. Okay, so I'm going to start the clock now, and then Quinn and Trung, when you're ready, you can type for me in the chat what you think the biggest problem in your city is. So just remember to type it in the chat, right? What you think the biggest problem is. I'm going to give you a few seconds extra. Good sentence, true. Good answer there. Gwen given an example as well. Very good. Okay, so Quinn said in her area it would be water pollution, right? And then Trung said in his area it's air pollution. I'm glad you didn't choose the same one. Okay, so Trung over here. And Quinn over here. So this is how we talk about problems. Now we're going to talk about the effects of the problem. So what impact does this problem have? After introducing the problem, how does this problem affect your city? Let me go back. Right, let's hear from Trung first. Trung, how do you think air pollution affects your city that you live in? What problems does it cause?
Yes, I think every day we emit large volume of emission into the living environment, and it's come from the vehicle, the factory, and it's it directly affecting our health.
Definitely right. So what kind of health problems do you think people usually get from air pollution? Like breathing problems, maybe?
Yes, the breathing problem. Yes, correct. Teacher, yes.
That's right. It's usually the major one, right? Okay, so
yes, I just thinking one problem.
I think, yeah, because I used to live in Bangkok, it also has a lot of pollution, right? So, yeah, I think it's breathing problems, lung problems, allergies even. Sometimes it causes like allergies as well for some people. Right, so Trung, air pollution, thank you. And then Quinn, what do you think are the effects of the water pollution in your area?
Yes, it affect the animal live in the water.
Yeah, definitely. So what about the people? Do you think they're also affected in some way?
Yeah, I think it affect the people. Some people use the deep water to use on daily life. So if the water is pollution, it affect on affect the people on the life, like the drink or use the water to use the water for daily.
The people who use the water, right, for living. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so that is the problem. Usually it affects both nature around the area as well as the people, the we always talk about the living conditions, right? Or the life quality of the people. Let me write that word for you guys. So when we say something reduces the life quality of the people, right? It means it makes the life quality less because people are now struggling with their health. It becomes a big problem for them, right? I want us to go to the second part now, where we're going to try and find two solutions to every problem. And then we're going to discuss these solutions. So first, I just want to show you guys some examples. We have individual solutions. This is one person. What can I do as one person? For example, I can use the train. If I don't drive in my car, right, then there's no air pollution. The community, meaning the people in the area, what can they do? For example, organize programs to recycle things. And then the government, they usually do the stricter law enforcement, etc., right? So I'm going to give you some time to think about this one. Okay, so again, Trung, I want you to think about two solutions for air pollution over here. You can choose if, like, if you want to talk about the individual, the community, or the government. And then, Quinn, you can do water pollution. Two solutions, you can choose which one of these you want to talk about. You can choose more than one as well. Okay, so firstly, I just want you to think about this. I'm going to start the clock and give you 1.5 minutes just to think about this a little, two solutions, and then we'll go to the asking of the questions. Right.
Reduce by the way to handle the waste water from factory
There we go. So let's start with Gwen this time. Gwen, can you tell me what do you think are two solutions for this water pollution problem in your area?
Water.
Oh, I see you did write in the chat as well.
Yes. I have two solutions because in my hometown has a lot of factory, so it affect on they need to find a way to handle the wastewater from factory, so it's reduce the pollution, the water pollution. And number two is we have to lower to again water solution. Number three is people need aware to throw away the trash on the rapid, not the water.
Okay, so awareness of where to throw the trash, right? Laws by the government and also wastewater control. All right, pretty good options, yes, definitely. Okay, then Trung, on your side, what do you think are two solutions to this air pollution problem in your city?
Yes, for air pollution, I have the three solutions. The first, using the public transport. Using public transport is a source way of contributing to less air pollution. It is provided with the less gas and energy, yes. And in addition to less release of fuel and gas, using a public transport can also help in saving money.
That's true.
The second solution is turn off the light when not in use. I think the energy that the light takes also contribute to air pollution. The fast light consumption of electricity can save energy. And the last solution, I think, is either recycle and reuse if possible. Because I think it helps in reducing pollution emission. The recycled product also take less power to make other product.
That's a very good one, yes, because the factories, yeah, are constantly making new products, right? So yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so thank both of you. It's very good. I can see you did think about it and you came up with some good solutions over here, what the individual, the community, and the government can do about this problem, right? There's always something we can do, even though we think we can't. Unfortunately, the government plays a big role as well. Okay, so after discussing these solutions, I want us to practice the same solutions that you mentioned here now, but only using them with these certain phrases. So we're going to practice using these phrases like, for example, let's take Trung's example. I hope that the people can start using or will start using public transportation. So that's an example of a full sentence. So you're either going to use wish or hope. Again, I hope everyone will start using public transportation. So that's just an example of your first solution, Trung. You can also use wish. I wish the government could enforce stricter laws, right? Okay, so now let's start with Quinn again. Quinn, can you give me two full sentences about your solutions using I wish or I hope?
Yes. I hope the factory will control the wastewater.
Perfect. One more.
I also wish people always aware of trash in water.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Quinn. Right, now your turn. Trung, can you give me two example sentences using hope and wish?
I also wish everyone will turn off the light when not in use.
Perfect. One more.
Yes. I hope people in those country can recycle and reuse if possible. That's all from my side.
Very good, guys. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to give you some short feedback, but I think you did actually really well at this activity. Okay, so yeah, what we learned here is how to use I hope and I wish when we talk about solutions to the problems, right? And I think you did really well over here at coming up specifically with the different solutions, which isn't that easy to think of sometimes. One thing to note is, remember when we say, for example, people should be, or I hope people are. Let me make an example. This one, this collocation over here, if you remember it, you can always use it exactly like this in a sentence, right? People should be aware of, remember that one. Aware of the pollution, right? Okay, so that is just one thing. Other than that, I think you guys did really well at explaining the effects of the different pollutions in your cities, what can be done about it, and also practicing. So well done over there. We're going to do our last question here. How can you discuss the solutions to these problems? So again, we have overfishing, trash, air pollution, water pollution that we talked about. Other environmental issues in your country. Okay. So Quinn mentioned that water pollution in her specific area is quite a big problem. And then Trung, you mentioned air pollution in your area. Quinn, do you think there are any other environmental issues in your country?
Yes. That's besides water pollution. Our village has air pollution and trash.
And trash as well. Okay. So this air pollution, is this mostly in the big cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh, or is it everywhere?
It is Thanh Hóa province.
Okay, so it's mostly in one area, right? That the biggest problem is. Trung, do you live in Ho Chi Minh City?
No, I'm from Vũng Tàu City, nearly Ho Chi Minh City. About 2 hours to go between the Vũng Tàu City and Ho Chi Minh City.
All right, but you still have a big problem with air pollution in your area, right?
Yes, because in Vũng Tàu City we have many industrial zones, so there are many factories, and every day the three factories emit a large volume of emission into the living environment. Yes.
I understand what you mean. All right. Yeah, that doesn't sound very good.
And other environment issue in Vũng Tàu City, I think it's a noise pollution.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Because of the motorcycles and the traffic and that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because that's a problem. Like I said, I used to live in Bangkok, so I know that area as well? A lot of air pollution, a lot of noise pollution, very busy, right?
Yes.
But there was this problem as well in Bangkok where there were a lot of old buses driving around, causing pollution. Does this happen in Vietnam as well or not really? The old buses. Okay, so lastly, what is the biggest environmental issue in your country? Can you suggest some solutions? Quinn, if you had to pick one for Vietnam as a whole, what do you think is the biggest issue?
I think the biggest issue is air pollution.
Probably right.
The reason.
What do you
I think the reason from the manufacturing.
Okay. So it seems like both of you are saying the factories are mostly to blame, right?
Yes.
What do you think the solution to that is, Quinn?
Yes, I hope the factory will control the can handle the
You mean that they can reduce the pollution in some way?
Yes, reduce the pollution.
Like in some countries, I know the factories, they are more strict, like Japan, for example, right? So the factories get a fine. They get a fine every time that they don't stick to certain regulations or rules. Do you think that could work, Trung? What do you think? If they gave the factories a fine, money they have to pay, if they don't reduce their pollution, do you think that will work in Vietnam?
Not sure. So the main reason in Vietnam lead to air pollution because I think the government doesn't have strict method to control it, and basically the government just to say to some company they need to control in the rank, but actual it's different 100%. So we don't have any strict measure method to control.
Yeah, I understand. It was exactly the same in Bangkok as well, right? So I understand that there should be strict laws, right? And also they should pay a fine, right? Pay a fine if they're not sticking to these rules. Right, so that is basically our topic for today, talking about environmental issues. And we used hope and wish also to express our solutions. Before we go, Quinn and Trung, any questions?
No, I don't have.
No, I don't have a question.
Okay, well then, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you again soon.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
And goodbye, Miss Quinn.
Thank you, Trung. Thank you, Quinn. See you again. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.